Okay, guys, this is going to my review. Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3. And boy, oh boy. It was great to see Bo-Katan in this episode. I knew she was going to be in it. And you guys know, I'm a big Clone Wars fan. I mean, I like Rebels, so I guess you can kind of throw that in there. I thought seeing her. The thing was it's like I knew she was going to be in the show, but I didn't think like episode three. I thought like maybe let's save it later in the season, or at least toward the end of like a episode. I thought at the very least at the end of this episode. But seeing her smack in the beginning was great. They made the jump from live action straight to from animation straight to live action. Great. See, other Mandalorians were great, and extra nostalgia bring the same actress now to translate live action. They were pretty lucky that when they picked out who to play Bo-Katan, they picked someone who looked a lot like her and I think could play the age, and she only grew into the age that she would be now. I love that they addressed so many big questions, like the question about like why can Bo-Katan and all these other Mandalorians take off their helmet, but Din can't? Well, because he's kind of part of this special cult. That was interesting, and answering questions there, and then establishing, picking, it picked us up right where Rebels left off. In the sense that, or sort of, but sort of not really. Like, she's looking for the dark saber, and many Mandalore drops, and establishing and expanding the lore of Mandalorian, and the action sequences were fantastic, and it was pretty emotional seeing Frog Lady find Frog Man. So I think this was very much like the payoff of last week. Where last week was a great episode and great character development, but this kind of felt like that part, not part two, but kind of felt like the payoff. It was kind of like it was kind of like episode one and episode two were kind of the juice of the story, and episode two was the bridge the gap. But I still loved episode two. But this episode was great. I don't think it's like the best episode of Mandalorian ever. I think still the late some of the episodes in season one toward the end are still a little bit better. Obviously we're getting Ahsoka. I don't think she's gonna be next episode. What I think will happen is Mando will go on another little detour, but then eventually, probably by episode 5, especially because Dave Filoni is directing episode 5. I can't imagine Dave not directing Ahsoka. Since it's Ahsoka's, his character. The first true Dave Filoni, original character besides Rex. And I wonder if could we see Rex? I don't know. The one thing I will say, the one negative I have with this episode is for non Clone Wars and Rebels fans. It's very easy to follow, which I love. If you watch Clone Wars, if you watch Rebels, you're gonna have so much appreciation, so much love for this episode. But even if you have, you can pick right up. But the one thing I'll say, I watch a lot of reaction videos, and a lot of people who didn't see Clone Wars got confused because when they took off their helmets, they were immediately like, "You're not real Mandalorians." And I don't think they did a good enough job to truly flesh out that they're. For us, it's as simple as say one dialogue saying, "Oh, that's one group, we're another group." But for people who are not Clone Wars and Rebels fans and don't know much about the Star Wars Star Wars lore, it could be hard to realize. Wait, you guys can't be real Mandalorians. You took off the helmet. We were taught that this is the way. For us, we understand. Okay, Mando, Din Djarin is part of this cult group. Wow, these are true Mandalorians of the current. But for non-Star Wars lore fanatics and geeks, it could be hard to truly comprehend because I've been seeing people on reaction videos who don't fully know, Bo-Katan and Mandalore backstory. They're just like, you guys aren't real Mandalorians. Mando's real Mandalorian, where they're both equally as Mandalorian as each other, as they equal. They're on an equal footing as far as how Mandalorian they are because it's just two different types of thought processes on kind of how the Mandalorian should be, but that's not a criticism I have because I've seen Clone Wars, I've seen Rebels, and again, this is where this show changes. The show has now a fundamental shift, becoming more because like a lot of people got into Star Wars because of this show. Because there's tons of people who don't really watch Star Wars, but watch this show, and this show was their gateway into Star Wars. And that was fine because everything was new. All the new characters, all new lore, all new this and that. But Bo-Katan, with the exception of the cameo of Boba Fett at the end of Season 1, or Season 2, Episode 1, besides Boba Fett, truly, Bo-Katan is the first character from another Star Wars content to be in this show. And not only is she from other Star Wars content, she's from pretty obscure Star Wars content. She's from the shows. It's one thing if you bring a character from the movies like a Boba Fett. Well, it makes sense. Okay, Boba Fett's big popular. If you bring Luke, big popular. But Bo-Katan is popular in the sphere of Clone Wars fans, Rebels fans, Star Wars lore fans, who read the EU. Like Cobb Vanth is similar to that, but Cobb is sort of even lower than that. So it's fine. It's fine if you don't really know Cobb too well. But with Bo-Katan, with all this lore, with all this backstory, it's tricky. Because I just see so many people like, who is Bo-Katan? What are these people? Why do they need the Darksaber? What's going on in Mandalore? And have so many questions that don't present in Season 1. You know what I mean? Because in Season 1, it's just a great story, happens to be in Star Wars universe. And I still feel that way. But introducing characters that are in other Star Wars places can make it tricky for casual fans. Because even fans of Star Wars might not have watched the shows, and while they won't fall behind, and they'll understand it, but questions will be raised. But I think what I love about this episode was that you don't have to watch Clone Wars or have to watch Rebels to truly understand Bo-Katan. But that's not to say you won't have questions at the end. Who's Ahsoka? How does Bo-Katan know a Jedi? Those questions you might ask. So I think this is a great bridge to watch Clone Wars and Rebels. So, I mean, I don't have any problems with it. I'm just curious to see where the show goes. Because now, this is my big intrigue going into the season. Introducing Ahsoka and Bo-Katan into the season was like, what are they going to do with it? Where are they going to go with this? Considering these are all, these are all characters that aren't originating in the show. So we'll see how the reception goes and see, how the season goes. And I'm stoked to see Ahsoka. I'm stoked to see all this. So Ahsoka's only appearing in one episode, and I'm fine with that. So let's see what's going on. Let's see. Stay tuned for more videos coming at you.